Hi, I'm Gabrielle Payne, and one of my passions is tap dance, which I've done since I was 3 years old, so it will always hold a really special place in my heart. Tap is also actually really significant to the history of our country though too, which is cool. Tap was born in the US in the early 1800s as African and Irish American dancing merged. By the early 1900s, jazz music had gained popularity and tap had along with it, and by the 1930s, tap was in TV shows and movies and everybody recognized it. Around the 1980s, it became more of a phenomenon on Broadway, and it continues to do that today. There are plenty of tap dancers from throughout the decades that contributed to what tap is today, like Savion Glover, Gregory Hines, Fred Astaire, Bill Bojangles Robinson, and so many more. I love to share this passion by performing. I grew up competing, and I've been in shows all around the country. I also really love to teach little kids who are growing up in the dance world. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to do a time step. Alright, so a time step might look really complicated once it's all together, but it can actually be broken down into lots of little, really simple steps. That's the same thing with being an RA. You have lots of little things that when they're all tied together and cohesive, you have one great student leader. So I'm actually going to tie each of these steps into how to be a good RA. Step number 1 is a stomp. Simple enough. As an RA, you're going to need to stomp out problems from the get-go. You might want to be friends with everyone on your floor, but it's not always possible. You've got to make your authority known. So we have a stomp, hop, and that's because as an RA, you're going to have issues. You might not get along with your you might have a roommate conflict that's just a doozy, and you're going to need to hop over those hurdles in order to proceed. Stomp, hop, shuffle, because you need to be able to shuffle around your schedule to accommodate your residents. Step is the next one. Very basic, anyone can do it. And that's because we take everything step by step and day by day. If you look at the year as a whole, it can be really daunting to step into this role. But if you just take it a little bit at a time, it's totally possible. And the last step is a flap. In English, flap is 1 syllable. In tap, it's 2. It's a 2-sound step. So we say fa-lap, we break it down into 2 smaller pieces. Just like when you face a really big issue in your building or even within res life as a whole, you're gonna break it down into little parts to make it manageable. So all together, we've got stomp, hop, shuffle, step, fa-lap. You step back in order to be able to start on the next side, and that repeats 6 times. And then we go into a break that looks a little bit like this. Yeah, which is just a combination of all of the stuff that we just already looked at. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like all as one complete time step.